to start the recording now? Great. Okay, so secret number 2 is helping, not selling. And so as I read through, this chapter was kind of short. So from there, I went to the internet to dig up a little more information. So actually, this information is not in the book. The secret, helping, not selling, was the secret, but it didn't give a lot of meat. So I went digging for the meat for us. So if we're focused on them and then we change our mindset from selling, how many people, when you're trying to encourage someone to join you in the business, what's the first thing they say? No, 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 I don't want to do it. I'm not a salesperson. I bet 9 times out of 10, if I get a pushback for joining our business, that is the reason why. I don't want people to look at me as a salesperson. And so, what we personally have to make sure we're doing, as well as communicating and helping our team and our potential and future team, is to truly begin helping them look at this business for what it truly is. And that is that we are helping people, not selling people. So, how do we go about really making that mind shift? And when we're coming across, we truly are coming across in a way that is helping people, not selling people. So, I found this article and I thought it was awesome. And here were some points to help us switch from selling to helping. So, number 1 was improving our marketing message. So we don't even notice sometimes as we're talking to people that we're coming across from a selling standpoint versus a helping standpoint. In this article, this guy used this thought process of, he goes, okay, let's assume you're selling orange juice. And initially what you say is, oh my goodness, this is the absolute best orange juice on the market today. That statement is fine, but it truly does come across as if you're what? You're selling something. So he made the switch and said, what if you said, oh my gosh, I'm looking at Sandy Dial's name. Oh my gosh, I'm pretending like I'm talking to Sandy. Sandy, you've got to try this orange juice. It quenches your thirst. It is the best tasting orange juice I've ever had. You know what's really unique is it allows you to get like a whole day's worth of vitamin C in just one glass. And he went on describing this orange juice and why someone would want that orange juice. What a difference. Because what does it sound like now? Now it sounds like I'm just helping Sandy realize something that she's going to want and need. And so that first point there is, let's think about how we share Juice Plus with someone. Are we sharing it from the standpoint of why it would make sense to them versus just simply the fact I'm selling it? A lot of times I've had people ask, how do you tell somebody you sell Juice Plus? And you know what? I remember someone asking that question to me and I thought, I don't even think about selling Juice Plus. All I think about is telling people about something I absolutely love and feel like it has totally changed the course of my family's health. And they're like, well, how do you tell them when you want their credit card to place an order? I'm just like, if you'll give me your credit card, I'll go ahead and get you started. I still don't talk about selling because I think somewhere along the line in my mind, that switch has taken place. So maybe it's already taken place for you, or maybe it hasn't, but you want to have that switch in your mind that you really are focusing, and everything we're saying is more about helping them than selling them. Even if we don't want to have that selling thought process, we got to be sure that our message is coming away with that helping versus selling. Now, the second thing that he talked about in this article was give people a reason to contact you. And when I read that, I kind of got thinking, okay, how do you go about getting people to contact you versus you contacting them? Which also brings about that shift of feeling like selling versus helping. People are coming to you. And some of the things that came to my mind were, One is definitely, which I think stands out and we need to make sure we use it, and that is the family health study. That truly is helping people get a 2-for-1. It's truly helping them pass on that message of whole food nutrition, of really heightening your children's awareness. My oldest daughter is 23 now, and she's always sending me really, really healthy recipes of things that she's cooked for dinner. And I really do contribute that to Juice Plus. All these years of being hammered in her head why we're taking Juice Plus, because we're wanting to shift our journey and make sure that our health continues to get better versus aging and disease. Um, how about sending people some Complete just out of the blue, a little package of Complete, or a couple, vanilla and a chocolate, and saying, "Hey, I was thinking about you. This is my breakfast every morning. Thought about you." Or, "I use this to after I work out. Thought I know you work out a lot. Thought you may enjoy this." Actually, I keep seeing Sandy. Once the screen is up, I only see a few people, and I'm seeing Sandy dial her name. So, Sandy, you're getting picked on today. But that's how Sandy Dial became one of my customers, and then ultimately a team member, and ultimately beyond that, one of my dearest friends. And it was a hot day, and I think I invited her in or took her out a shake. It evolved around the Complete. Um, oh, she's driving. There she is. What happened? Didn't I give you a shake? Isn't that what happened? Yeah. So, okay, so that right there established that connection and gave us a reason to connect. What about recipes? What about sending someone a link to our Healthy Living Revolution and sending everyone? Brenda always tells me on our Team Extreme Facebook page for our customers that, bar none, recipes get more interest than anything else. And so think about ways and reasons that you can reach out to people just to be of help to them. How about it if I've heard people say, "Well, I don't want people looking at me that here comes the Juice Plus lady." Well, I kind of feel the opposite. I kind of want to be known as that, because what I want to be known is, hey, if you got some health issues, you have some nutrition questions, this is your gal. You want to be known as that person, that resource for people. So maybe again, change our mindset there that it's okay to be the neighborhood veggie dealer. That's okay. That's a good thing. That's what we want. So give people a reason. Oh my goodness, COVID is happening. What should we do? You know, I want to not only be able to share the value of Juice Plus and building our immune system, but what other tips? I love that Caitlin Cobb on our immune support event, that online event that we did, that she gave 6 tips to help build your immune system. How great would that be to pass those tips on to our customers? How can I help them, just to let them know I care and get them to respond back to me? That's what we want. We want that relationship to build and to grow. Okay, number 3, establish your pricing in terms of value. How do we go about making that switch, that when people think of our pricing, they think of us selling them something, us making money? How do we help them make that shift in their mind, that that price, they look at as, wow, this is a great value of what I get from Juice Plus. And sometimes that really goes into play. And I think I shared earlier about how the bundles really helped me recently with a customer who was going to quit. And we restructured her order based on some options I gave her with our bundles. And that was a great alternative to me just saying, "Oh, I hate that, financially right now it's tough and you can't continue with your Juice Plus." But instead, giving people options and showing them value in those different bundles is one way. Another thing that came to mind when I kept reading this, um, establish your pricing in terms of value. I think back to, you've heard me talk a lot about Amy Porterfield. who is online marketing is what she teaches, and she talked about this thing called future pacing. And when she said, I thought, what does she mean, future pacing? Well, she went on to describe that what we do is take people into the future. If I'm sharing Juice Plus, what I want to do is project out, what do you think your health's going to look like if you add 30 raw fruits and vegetables to your body every single day? Where do you see yourself? You know what I've noticed after 20 years on Juice Plus, and I had this conversation with a customer just the other day. She goes, Elaine, I swear I feel like, and she's been a customer for probably 15 or 20 years, one of my first customers. She said, I swear today more than ever, I'm starting to really believe how much Juice Plus has an impact on our skin and how we looked, our energy, just on that aging process. So what if we project out and the impact, that slowing down of those having all those antioxidants. Oxidation is what ages us. Antioxidants is what slows down that aging. What if we have that and we future pace in terms of value? Well, I'm telling you what, the older I get, the more valuable looking younger means to me. That whole thought. So if it means Juice Plus is going to slow down, Juice Plus provides tons of reasons for taking it. But, just thinking about future pacing and aging gives me a hope and excitement. All right, number 4, build credibility. If we build credibility, what we're doing is we're helping people really, once again, just like that conversation I was having with my customer of slowing down that aging process, that was part of building credibility. So instantly, what I think about is customer stories or endorsements. When you're talking to customers or prospective customers, are you sharing stories? Think about it. I've got probably a good 10 or 15 customer stories that I use all the time. Anybody else do that? Okay. So I bet what you want, if you don't have a good 10 or 12 customer stories, then talk to someone who does. Maybe you're new in the business, whatever, you need to make sure you've got your own personal story down, but you want to have different stories. So if I think I'm talking to someone who maybe they started taking Juice Plus wanting to move the dial in one particular area of their health, but maybe they haven't seen any movement in that area. And they're telling me, I'm asking questions because I want to hear. Then instantly I think of my friend Elizabeth. And she was focused on one area of her health, was not even focused on another. And when we uncovered what actually was going on, it was huge, the change and transformation in her health. But you know what? We had to have that conversation to explore and find out what truly, how Juice Plus was really helping her. But now I've got that story to share with many of people. I'll never forget the beginning of that conversation. Elizabeth, how's it going with your health? And she was like, nothing's happening with me. But then she started telling me everything that was happening with her husband. And so that's always a great story to share if people haven't even, if I'm asking questions and they haven't seen any shift in their health yet. Or I'm thinking of another customer of mine who was in kidney failure, and Juice Plus totally transformed her situation. 15 years later, I talked to her the other day and said something to her about her Juice Plus, and she was like, man, you don't have to convince us. We are solid believers, because she remembers the impact. So if I have someone dealing with a kidney failure, I go back and I share my story of Becky. I think about somebody who had huge change in her cholesterol, her blood pressure, and migraines. But when I checked in on her, she told me, everything's good. I don't need Juice Plus anymore. I feel great. And I said, Martha, what about your cholesterol? What about your, and I started naming all the issues she had. She was like, wow, All right, send me another round. And that was probably 10 years ago. So so when I have somebody who thinks they feel good and they don't need Juice Plus anymore, I go back to Martha's story. So what you want to do is whenever you get those pushbacks, think about the pushbacks you get and then mirror the stories of your customers with it. So that what that's going to do is build that credibility with those customers. All right, number 5, start a conversation to create opportunities. So how do we start a conversation? You've heard me wear this out, and I have to remind myself of this because I'm an extrovert and I want to talk. But the best way to create those conversations is to do it by asking questions. What do they need? What are their interests? You know, create the opportunities, create the need. Sometimes people don't even know what they need. You see it, they don't even see it. So, in a way, without being insulting or pushy, and that's where those questions come in, is we're able to kind of uncover the needs, uncover the interest, and then, open those doors of conversation with people. I think sometimes, honestly, we're afraid to go there with people. If somebody calls in and puts their order on hold or cancels their order, you're like, oh gosh. And I've got someone I just saw cancel. I sent him a message out and said, hey, it's time for your Juice Plus to ship out. And he never responded. And I went and checked, and sure enough, he canceled his order. Now, he's done this to me 3 times already. But you know what? He comes to my house and he maintains our heating and air. And every time he comes, he gets back on it again. So I know the pattern. So I'm ready. It's time for me to send him out again. And he's always the one who comes out, and I'm going to give him a hard time. We kind of banter back and forth. But you know what? It's having those conversations face to face, or at least by telephone, that you're able to create those opportunities. And I'm just going to say, his name is Reggie. I'm going to say, Reggie, okay, I see you cancel. What's going on? And now, granted, this would have been his 4th round of Juice Plus. So it's not like, I know he's seen a difference because we've had the conversation. But a lot of times we'll shy away from those conversations. But we can't, because we got to dig in and look at ourselves as truly helping someone, not, oh my gosh, he's going to think of me selling again. That thought never went through my mind. What went through my mind is what's going on. Because maybe I need to have a conversation with him about a bundle. Maybe it's financial. He's on the quad. Or maybe I need to have a conversation with him about becoming a partner if it's a financial issue. But it's going to take me manning up and asking the question, hey, what's going on? What happened? Why would you stop that new shipment from going out? What's going on? We got to know that if we go to that extent, people are going to feel like we do care. What feels like selling is if I don't care enough to call and find out. So let's find out what's going on with people and how we can help. And then lastly, install a sense of urgency. So here's what I've found many times. There's 3 reasons when people are dragging their feet when it comes to getting started on Juice Plus. Number 1 is they're kind of lacking direction. Like, if we're not real confident when we're sharing, let's get you started, I think you need to start with the trio. Or now we have kind of options. If you kind of heard maybe that there financially may be an issue, here's the bundle I think is right for you. Or we're starting the shred in the next couple of weeks, our November shred, you need the shred bundle. People need direction. They need confidence. They're unsure. We know what they need. They need it all, but we know that they need to get started on Juice Plus, and they need to hear the confidence from us. And that's how we can help them. So number 1, it could be confidence. um, or direction, or then secondly, confidence, that we instill confidence in them. Yes, of all the thousands of things out there you could do, this is the best one. I'm telling you, I've been taking Juice Plus for 20 years now. You are not going to get, there's not, in my mind, there is not a better way that your health could benefit than by you adding Juice Plus, this whole food concentrate, to your diet every single day. And then lastly, we got to really reiterate the importance, this urgency of letting them know how critical it is to get 30 raw fruits and vegetables in their body every single day, especially now more than ever. We need to keep our immune systems functioning at tip top capacity and really drilling home that importance and the urgency of what we're about. This is bigger than just making a sale. This is bigger than, some makeup or XYZ. We're talking about altering the course of your future. Where are you going to be in 5 years from now if you don't take charge of your health right now? And I don't know of a better way. What you're doing is helping them put Juice Plus and their health top of mind. And that's what we want to do. And how that's going to come across is that we're helping them. If we're shying away, then that really does feel like selling. If we're going to let someone who maybe throws up a roadblock, if we just walk away with our head down thinking, oh, well, then I think that people feel that. But if they feel, I don't, yes, Carrie's on here. I tell you what, Carrie Vitiello is absolutely one of the best people I know when it comes to, if someone pushes back on buying Juice Plus, on renewing Juice Plus, she doesn't. I told her the other day, I said, you're like a dog with a bone. She does not let go. And you know what? That comes across. You will never feel like Carrie's selling you a thing. What you feel is Carrie's passion about how Juice Plus can help you and how much she cares about your health. And I asked her the other day, I said, Carrie, tell me, where'd you get that passion and that conviction and that ability to keep going back when maybe someone knocks you down? And she said, my family, she has a big family. And she said, well, maybe I need to let Carrie share, but I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now. But Carrie, are you still on here? I think so. Carrie, share with me what you said about your family. What that trigger, what was that switch that didn't allow you to shrink back when someone threw up a roadblock at you?
Well, we've been on it going on 21 years. So I've never really shared with family because I didn't want them to feel like, I don't know, I just had this feeling of selling to my family. Until a few years ago when we were at a reunion, and all I was sitting and hearing was how sick my family was. Almost everybody was talking about their health issues, the medicines they were on. And then I was noticing the aging differences in them, and in a caring way, not a negative way. And after that reunion, I came home and I told Joey, I said, we've got to start sharing this with our family. And so we've started sharing with our family. I don't know why so that's the difference in feeling like you're selling and you're caring, because I feel bad now that we've held back so long, actually.
Thank you. I love that. And to hear her she cracks me up. I love it, Carrie. I love it. So.
Cracks me up too, Wayne.
But all right. Well, let me see. We're right at 1:00. So I want to stop for a few minutes. And if you've got any questions, put it in the chat section and either Linda or Brenda can start answering. And Linda, Brenda, if we need to verbally process the questions, we will. But here's what I wanted to also share with you. When we think about moving into our planning time, And hopefully this week, as you start approaching, whether it be prospects or customers, really keep those 6 points in mind of mentally making that shift in our own mindset of, man, we don't sell. We are inspiring healthy living. We are helping people on their journey to better health. That's a high calling, you guys. It truly is. And we have been gifted the opportunity, and we have the opportunity to share with others, to join us. And so I hope no one on this call feels like we're in the selling business. I mean, granted, we sell every day. Our ideas, our influence, trying to get people to do what we want. But truly, it's a matter of helping. And I don't believe anybody on this call, I believe every single one of us want to help others. And one of the things that I love about the Juice Plus business, you build to your paycheck builds over time. And I think the people, if anyone's in this for the money, now granted, I have told you, money's like oxygen, we need it, we have to have it. And I love to make it. But that's not what drives me. And I don't believe it drives anyone on here. And the fact that you're here, and it's not like some other network marketing companies, you feel that it's all about the sale. And it almost makes you be like, whoa, that doesn't feel good. But what I've seen, because Juice Plus, you can make a lot of money, but it's over time. And what it does is weeds out the people who aren't in it for the right reason. I sound like I'm on The Bachelor, don't I?
Elaine, can I share a story?
Yes.
So even age, it's never too late, because I have an aunt that's very sick. She's down to like 70 something pounds. And she wasn't eating at all. And I took her the quad. I just gave it to her and put it on her table. But I was noticing that she wasn't able to take the capsules, or she wasn't interested really. She took parts of them. So I gave those to another aunt and took her some of the packages of the gummies and put them on her table. And I said, eat these gummies. Even if you can't eat the gummies, because they'll give you nutrition. And my aunt that I gave the quad to told me that she's eating. And so my other aunt has saw the importance of it as well. They couldn't get her to eat. Now then, as she's been eating the gummies, she's starting to have an appetite.
Wow.
So even though she's in her, mid 80s, a lot of people would have said, oh, well, this is her time, I guess. But it's never too late. And just like with that, I told my aunt right then, I said, see, you're seeing the importance of nutrition and how that has helped her, where nobody could get her to eat. Now she's starting to crave food.
Wow. I love it. Thank you, Carrie, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right. So as we go into next week, I'm going to share something with you. Hold on. Let me key up my,
do you still want to be recording, Elaine?
Oh, go ahead and take it off now. That's good. Thanks, Brenda.